What's up, famo? How you guys been doing, man? It's been a while. It's been a while. Been a while. Almost got a little tongue tied there. Give me a minute, guys. Let me get hydrated. I'm gonna check my phone to make sure that we're streaming like we're supposed to be streaming. All right, give me a minute. Let me look. Let me look. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, man. It looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. First of all, I want to say big ups to everybody that's continuing to check out the content that I be releasing. I took a little break. Had to deal with some personal issues, so I haven't been shooting video for probably about a week and something now. But I got things kind of back in balance, and so we're getting ready to cook going into the winter time. I have a lot of things that I got planned for you guys with this content. I'm gonna be breaking a lot of things down, sharing a lot of things with you, and hopefully you guys are going to be able to take some of this and use it and yeah, and level up. All right, let me do this right here. Okay. You guys know I like to share a quote of the day. And a lot of my quotes, man, I'll come back around and share them consistently over and over again, depending on what I got going on. This is one that I've always loved. It makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense um, in the vein of what we're going to be talking about today. So the quote says, "Real transformation does not begin with external change; it begins with internal renovation." All right, internal renovation, and basically what that quote is saying, guys, if you want to go to the next level, man, if we want to change as individuals, we first have to change on the inside. We first have to go in and clean our house on the inside before we can manifest the reality that we want. And so, like, even like what we're going to be talking about today, some of you guys are going to get it, and some of you guys are not going to get it. And the ones that are not going to get it is going to be because of the way that they see things, the way they think. One of the things that I've realized ever since I was young, that there is always a way for you to hustle. All right. And you might be saying, okay, Orville, what do you mean when you say hustle? What I mean when I say hustle is where you take nothing and turn it into something. When you think about it, we as individuals, if we're not careful, we're conditioned by society, by jobs, by schools to always believe and think that the only way we can make it is if somebody else is giving something to us. All right, let that sink in. A lot of us are programmed to believe that the only way we can manifest is if something is given to us. Somebody gives us a job, somebody opens up and gives us an opportunity or whatever, right? And I found that one of the quickest ways to start getting free in your life and to start becoming freedom conscious is to start adopting a different way on how you look at things. Okay. And one of the things that I believe that we need to start thinking different about is how do we manifest the result? How do we get something to happen in our lives? And when it comes to, let's say, let's just even hone in on what we're going to be talking about, financials. All right. When most people are faced with the question, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and your job was gone? All right, what would you do? What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and your bank account was cleaned out? So all your savings, any type of income you have in there is gone. What would you think and what would you do? Now, what if I made it harder for you? What if I said that not only that happened to you, but what if you couldn't work again for 180 days? We're not going to say forever. We're going to say for 180 days. What would you do? What would you do to create income for you and your family? What would you do to pay the bills? What would you do to put the food on the table? Do you have the skill sets that will allow you to be able to create something of value that you could take it to the marketplace and people would pay you for. All right, really think about that. Now, based off of how you answer that question, how you communicate that, it's going to determine what level that you're at. All right, when it comes to what? Knowing how to manifest a result financially without a job. So one of the things I try to stress to individuals, and this is just, this is not me knowing everything. I just like to share with you guys what I figured out over my life is that the more skills I stack, the more knowledge and information that I understand when it comes to skill stacking, the better chance I have at being able to manifest a financial result at will. All right. So I'm the kind of person, man, I'm constantly learning things. I'm constantly staying plugged in to some type of education, whether it's a course, a training, mastermind, whether it's listening to podcasts, it's watching educational videos. But I'm always looking to keep my mind sharp, to always be in the know of what's possible out there, because that's important, guys. A lot of times we can't do because we don't believe that it can be done. So one of the key strategies I discovered a long time ago is to expose myself to different ideas, examples, and reference points of what's being done out there in the world, regardless of what it is that I'm looking at. I always immerse myself because this is what I want to do. First of all, I want to make sure that I expand my capacity to believe it, right? So if I see a lot of examples on it, then I have a tendency to believe that it can be done more versus to not seeing any examples. Your capacity will always determine what you can attract and what you can hold, right? So if you don't believe that something is possible, guess what? You can't do it. I don't care how much wishing and hoping that you do, you can't do it. Now, when it comes to manifesting a financial result, one of the things that I try to teach anybody that will listen to me is that the quickest way to learn how to generate income, to learn how to create income on demand, is to find the strategy with the less friction. All right. And the easiest point or the shortest point from A to B. And in this case that we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about buying and selling things, aka flipping things. I think flipping is one of the most simplest business models out there, and anybody can do this business. All right, when you think about flipping, my late mentor, Mr. Rowan, Jim Rowan, used to say that commerce is easy, business is easy. You buy something for $1, you sell it for $2. Now we know that that's not all that you have to worry about in business, but he was teaching a philosophy and a principle there: buy low, sell high. And so when it comes to manifesting your own income and learning how to engage in what we call entrepreneurship, one of the most easiest paths to that is buying and selling, flipping. You go out here, you look at like in this room right now. I could look around my office and I could see a lot of things that I don't necessarily need or use anymore. And I could easily take those items that are already paid for. Now they're already paid for. And I could actually take pictures of them and I can list them on something like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, eBay, Craigslist, Poshmark, and get rid of them. And I can get rid of them easily. All right. One thing that I've always learned that somebody out there always wants what you have, and you will be surprised at what you could sell. Me personally, I've been flipping ever since I was 18 years old. I've been constantly buying and selling throughout the years. I recently shut down an eBay store that I was running about 8 years, where I was flipping gently used vintage apparel. And I had over 1,500 items that was in my store. All right. I flipped furniture. I flipped cars. I flipped apparel. I flipped tools. I flipped a lot of things, right? And I've always told myself that flipping is one of the most simplest business models that you could jump into, and you can make a fortune, right? Because follow this right here. If you can learn how to flip a couch, you can learn how to flip a bike, you can learn how to flip a car, you can learn how to flip a tractor trailer full of things. If you can learn how to flip a tractor trailer full of merchandise, you can learn how to flip a business. All right, if you can learn how to flip a business, you can learn how to flip a brand. Are you guys follow what I'm saying? So the strategy and the concept of flipping kind of stays the same. You buy or acquire cheap, you sell for more. And so, what I would stress to anybody out there, all right, if you are looking to learn how to make money on your own, make money on demand, you're looking to launch a business, then I would advise everybody start flipping. Take about $50 or $100, jump out there and find something that somebody's selling online that you can validate is a good deal, is below market value, something that you can buy and then turn around and quickly and easily flip. One of the things I like doing is I like looking at Facebook Marketplace. I jump on there and I can look for things that are undervalued because a lot of time people are just trying to get rid of it. They don't care about what they can get for it if they sat on it for a while. They don't care about what they can get for it. They put it on eBay. They're just trying to liquidate it, get it away, get it out of there fast. And that's where your opportunity lies. Because now, if you're able to catch these deals and you quickly are able to assess and see how profitable the deal is and then take action on it, you could do what we call arbitrage. Man, you could jump in and you know where to find something that cheap, but then you also know where to sell it at for more than what you bought it at. And that's what we call an arbitrage opportunity. You're able to make money in the middle. Okay. And with the skill set of flipping, once you learn it, man, you'll never be without money again. Because even if you don't have any money to invest in inventory or things to flip, you can always jump online to like Facebook and Craigslist and look under the free section. There's always people giving something away because, again, most of the time these people are just trying to get rid of this, man. They're moving. They have a new couch, new refrigerator, new wash machine set coming, and they need to get rid of the old one. All right. And if they don't get rid of it, a lot of times they got to pay for somebody to come get it. So they're more willing to give it to you for free so you can get it out of their out of their hair, their head, whatever you want to call it. But then you can make some money off of it. And so when it comes to flipping, man, there is no excuse why you can't get started because every barrier of entry has been obliterated. It's gone. All right. You don't have to worry about it. It's something that you could sit down today and immediately get started with. You know how? Because like I was telling you guys at the beginning of this show, you can always buy and sell things that you use, and you can always sell something that you've already bought that you no longer need. When you look in your closet, you got clothes, you got shoes that you don't wear anymore. When you walk around your house, you got furniture that you don't use or furniture that you don't need, and electronics, books, all that kind of stuff. And in bigger cases, you have cars, motorcycles, bikes that you don't need or you don't use anymore. Just flip it, man. Go ahead and get rid of it. And if you really want to generate some quick cash, mark it way down. Don't try to sell it at full value. Sell it at a price that you can move it fast. All right. And then all you do is take that money that you get in now, and that's your seed capital for your future flipping, right? So now you can go out to the marketplace and look for your next flip. And the cool thing about flipping is, guys, this is a business model that you could do from anywhere. Whether you're in the St. Louis area, you're in Florida, you're in Thailand, you're in England, you're in Texas, you can flip the same way. All right. And when it comes to flipping, there is never a deficit on inventory of things to sell. Because I'm going to show you guys how to think like this. Like I have a community I'm putting together right now called the Art of the Flip. And pretty much we've created a small course where we break down and show you how to get started flipping. Okay, we show you kind of what it would look like if you were to scale. But we talk about flipping cars, furniture, excess inventory, things like that in the micro course, right? But you literally can move around and talk to everybody from friends to family to businesses in your neighborhood. And all you have to ask them is, do you have something that you no longer need or you no longer want, that you want to get rid of, and something that you want to make some money off of. And that's what I always try to do. Me personally, I always try to tie a way for them to make some money into it. But that's all you got to ask. You got to ask that question of everybody. And guess what? As you ask that question, you're going to run across people that are going to say, "Oh yeah, I got something that I've been trying to sell for the longest and haven't been able to sell it." And you can go in there and you could purchase that from that person, or you could partner a joint venture with them on getting that sold. And so if you joint venture with them, you're going to work out your commission, your fee, your fee for helping them get rid of that item. But I was telling my son today that if you look at this the right way, there's never any reason to have to use a lot of your money, and you're going to always have deals because there's deals all around you. All right. And the more you share with people that you are a serious player or trying to be a serious player, you want to buy, you want to sell, you want to help people make money off of what they have. The more you do that, you're going to start getting these deals that are going to be attracted to you, and you can start making some paper, right? But the cool thing again about the whole flip game is that the distance from A to B is very short, so it's a way that you can make quick money. All right, not sleazy quick, but where the time from getting a deal put together and selling it could be very quick. All right, and that's what you want to. That's the kind of business you want to be. And what I would tell you guys is that if you're going to get into flipping, set some things up so you can kind of professionalize what you're doing, and that's going to change how you approach the game. See, what I do is I always look at things from a business standpoint, and not just from the type of business standpoint where I'm just focused on that activity in that particular business, but I'm looking at the big picture and saying, okay, what does this framework look like? What does this system look like? What would this look like if I was to systematize it? And how could I repeat whatever it is that I'm accomplishing at that particular time? How can I make this happen over and over again? And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for what we call a framework, something that I could do over and over again and get the same result, and something I could teach other people how to do over and over again and get the same result. But when you think about flipping these days, first of all, understand with things such as internet, AI, social media, there is no limit on how you communicate, how you promote, and how you build this business because you have access to a lot of key things that could help you leverage this into a very, very lucrative opportunity. All right. But the thing is that you got to understand that first of all, you're not restricted. There's no constraints. All right. When you look around, you can sell cars, you can flip motorcycles, you can flip bikes, you can flip clothes, you can flip books, you can flip watches, you can flip old restaurant equipment, you can flip old appliances, anything and everything. But what you have to do is you have to remove the limitations off your mind, and you can say, okay, well, look, I can get out here and get started. I can start selling things that I don't use. I'll jump in the garage, in the attic, and start identifying things I don't use, and then I'll put this stuff out here for sale. I'll take the money from that and I'll reinvest into my flipping. And then when I get to a certain point, I'm going to take some of that profit off and I'm going to take it off the table and invest that money into something like precious metals. It could be Bitcoin, anything like that to diversify. And I'm going to keep running this play. And then what you could do is you could start off in your local area, right? And say, I'm going to buy and sell things in my local area. And then you can start expanding nationwide. Because if it could be shipped, all right, you can make money off of it as long as you're willing to ship things. And yeah, and guys, the game of flipping has changed. You can literally sit in your home and make a very serious level of income and never have to leave your house. Never have to leave it at all. Okay. So if you're interested, man, you're saying, okay, well, look, man, I'm interested, man, in flipping. I need to make some more money. I don't want to go work another job. I don't want to have to take and invest a lot of money into a business idea. I want to learn this game of flipping. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys just to keep your eyes on my profile. I have a community that I'm getting ready to roll out. It's called The Art of the Flip. And based in this community, I'm going to be providing you information and some of the courses that my publishing company has created and are in the process of creating around different business models when it comes to flipping. And you're going to be able to go there, you're going to be able to plug into it, learn, then take action, and then come back to the community and talk about your results and share your results with the community and get feedback. So very, very powerful. Now, this is the cool thing. You might be saying, okay, Orville, how much is that going to cost? You know, that's one of the things that I'm doing and I'm happy about, that I'm gonna be able to give this to you for little or nothing. You know, so right now your membership is only gonna be $10, man. You can't even run to your local fast food restaurant and get a meal for $10 anymore. But I'm gonna give you access to a wealth and a vault of a lot of good information and training that's gonna literally give you the skills and the blueprint to go out here and start changing your financial reality. And I'm excited about it, guys. I should have this up and going hopefully in about a week. We have about 4 to 5 of these kind of products that we're putting together with their own communities. So that will be the only thing that will hold me up. That I'm working on multiple things right now, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited to show you guys how to get out here and how to start looking at your local community a lot different, how to start looking at your network online different, how to look at your friends different. Because every person that you communicate with, every person that you're connected, is a potential wealth of opportunity and profits. You know, you just have to tap root into what it is that they're doing. All right, very, very powerful. So Orville J. Parker, aka Coach, the game of flipping is changing, and most people are sleeping on it. They don't even realize how lucrative, how big the opportunity is when it comes to flipping in today's world and market. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next video. God bless.